So my name is Roubitchek, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ponto Footwear. At Ponto, we're reimagining the consumer apparel space by providing hybridized footwear that transitions between work, play, and everything in between, and keeps the planet in mind with every detail. The shoe also features a sugarcane-infused foam bottom and a eucalyptus tree pulp tensile liner on the inside of the shoe that lengthens the useful life and prevents foot odor with natural tree fibers, so Pontos can be worn both socked and sockless. The total addressable market for footwear worldwide is set to be worth $400 billion in 2022. Within that, we service a market worth roughly $190 billion per year. We're on pace to capture $3 million of that opportunity by the end of 2022 and $10 million of that opportunity by the end of 2023. So my name is Roubitchek, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ponto Footwear. So Ponto was founded under the hypothesis that traditional footwear has for far too long viewed fashion and function as mutually exclusive characteristics. Fact has it that we as consumers own closets full of hyper-specific footwear that serve occasional use cases. So think the dress shoes for the wedding, the Nike trainers for the Saturday errands in the gym. And what this all really boils down to is we lack good-looking transitional footwear that aligns with consumer demand for values-driven do-good brands and products. At Ponto, we're reimagining the consumer apparel space by providing hybridized footwear that transitions between work, play, and everything in between, and keeps the planet in mind with every detail. The vision behind Ponto manifests really in our first shoe line, which you can see here, that we've called the Pacific. And it's a sustainably made multi-occasion style that's elevated like a dress shoe up top and feels like a squishy trainer down below. The upper is made from recycled leather, which is fully water repellent, uses 95% recycled water, and is much less toxic on both the factory worker and the land surrounding factories than the majority of vegan alternatives. The shoe also features a sugarcane-infused foam bottom and a eucalyptus tree pulp tensile liner on the inside of the shoe that lengthens the useful life and prevents foot odor with natural tree fibers, so Pontos can be worn both socked and sockless. We differentiate ourselves in the saturated space of footwear by providing footwear that's highly durable, functional, and comfortable, while also building it on a brand and product aesthetic that feels inherently luxury. When you couple this with the level of sustainable rigor that we hold our brand to, no other brand achieves the same trifecta of design, comfort, and sustainability emphasis. Our sustainable impact certainly expands outside product design, materials, and manufacturing. And more specifically, we donate 1% of sales to an ocean conservancy project called Changing Tides Foundation, founded in our hometown of Encinitas, California, and centered around empowering women to protect the planet. We enable circular economy by compensating Ponto customers to send their used pairs back to us, where we then credit them $20 to our store, and their used pairs go on to the nonprofit Souls for Souls, where they're actually repaired and then become the initial consignment inventory for aspiring female entrepreneurs in developing nations like Haiti, opening up their first retail consignment locations, and also helping to fund education programs and marketing, finance, et cetera, to further empower these female entrepreneurs. We also fully ship carbon neutral from a freight and parcel perspective through our partnership with flexport.org. The global footwear market is projected to be worth about $440 billion by 2026, growing at a 2.4% compounded annual growth rate per year globally and a 6.7% CAGR in the US. And this is really largely driven by overall rising demand for more all-inclusive footwear that's elevated, trendy, and comfortable for all age groups. In terms of current market size and our plans to capitalize on that growth, the total addressable market for footwear worldwide is set to be worth $400 billion in 2022. Within that, we service a market worth roughly $190 billion per year that consists of casual footwear buyers. We're on pace to capture $3 million of that opportunity by the end of 2022 and $10 million of that opportunity by the end of 2023. Our target market we refer to as change makers. They're generally ages 25 to 44, live in major metropolitans, work in professions such as finance, tech, medicine, education, restaurant and bar workers, as well as airline and hospitality staff. They either have a bachelor's or graduate degree or currently working towards one. Generally, they're mindful of both their overall wellness and health and are civically engaged with a global outlook. Their lives surround around movement, so comfort and versatile footwear that seamlessly blends from occasion to occasion is of the utmost importance to them. Brands that appeal to them span Cole Haan, Patagonia, Figs, and Away suitcases, and on average, these individuals earn roughly $68,000 per year. We currently sell direct to consumer through our site at a retail price of $129. Our freight on board cost is roughly $28, and our gross margin is roughly 55%. We have maintained a return rate of about 13% across the nearly 6,000 orders we have generated, which when you compare it to the industry average return rate for e-commerce footwear of over 30% is remarkably low. While the crux of our revenue to date has been direct to consumer, we will continue to open revenue streams in retail, dropshipping marketplaces, and B2B employee gifting programs going into 2022 as we diversify our omnichannel strategy. Our funding to date prior to the round that we're currently raising for totals about $540,000, which was generated across a Kickstarter, friends and family, personal investment, and an SBA 7A loan. As of December 1st, 2021, we've generated $700,000 in gross sales since launching on Black Friday 2020. And this is after selling $50,000 in a single day from our spot on the major television show Good Morning America back in July. In terms of our plans for future growth, we plan to hit $3 million in sales in 2022 and $10 million in sales in 2023. We're on pace to break even in the summer of 2022, and our Series A will follow soon thereafter in early 2023. Our path to investor exit will either be through IPO or acquisition through achieving north of $200 million in annual revenue by 2030. Alongside working as the founder and CEO of Ponto for the past 3 years, I have worked at Google and YouTube for the past nearly 5 years, where I actually resigned to go full-time on Ponto just 9 weeks ago, and where I co-founded Ponto for nearly the entirety of the latter half of my career at Google. My co-founder and chief operating officer, Joseph Markey, has a background in mechanical engineering, having received both a bachelor's and master's degree from UC Berkeley, and his work experience spans various social impact startups in the Silicon Valley, having set up fully functioning manufacturing lines overseas in Asia prior to coming to Ponto. Our 5 equity owning advisors span a diverse set of skill sets from product design, footwear expertise, digital marketing, logistics, and more. John Knight, who you can see here, currently serves as the Global VP of Design and Creative Direction at Fanatics, and his prior work experience includes being head design director at The North Face, Under Armour, Yeezy, and more. Tara Walpert-Levy has spent the past 12 years working at Google and YouTube, reporting directly to the C-suite, and has experienced firsthand the tailwinds and headwinds of digital marketing and rapidly scaling a disruptive organization. Scott Brown is our resident shoe dog and spent nearly 20 years at Nike, managing their entire Asia-Pacific footwear supply chain operation. Lauren Cutshaw is a brand marketing guru who spent her career across various marketing leadership roles in the health and wellness space. And our longest standing advisor, Greg Moser, specializes in e-commerce tech, logistics, and finance, currently serving as the founder and president of a fast-growing 3PL that Ponto actually leverages for our own warehouse and parcel shipping needs. Our organic marketing partnerships and influencer activations span across people with different points of appeal across our various brand pillars. We reach our audience primarily through Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and email marketing, and these efforts have greatly contributed to much of the organic growth that balances out the growth we've achieved with paid media. We've been featured in Forbes, Good Morning America, Harper's Bazaar, Business Insider, Men's Health, and more, and we have a major slate of earned press activations that are launching as we speak and moving into early 2022. At Ponto, we're reminded of our why through stories of our customers feeling empowered as more wholesome versions of themselves by looking good, feeling good, and doing good in ways that conventional footwear brands simply do not allow. Take the example of Gail Myers, a woman suffering from multiple sclerosis who wrote to us praising how Ponto's had reduced her foot pain, ankle swelling, and back pain, while also looking good in the ways that the clunky, obtuse aesthetic of typical orthotics had never provided for her. Other examples include newly naturalized Brazilian dreamers, posting tweets that go viral from their naturalization ceremony, becoming citizens of the US, naturally in a pair of Pontos, where they're reflecting back on their climb out of poverty to now being a CEO on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company list. And this is after coming to the US with no more than $200 in their pocket. These anecdotes span changemakers far and wide, from teachers back in the classroom for the first time in 2 years and coping with all that difficulty, to the overworked healthcare worker, and many more who are all in the arena and each uniquely embody the spirit of Ponto. We invite and challenge you to take your first steps towards change alongside ours as we empower one another to be more mindful with both self and planet. Thank you.